Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to another episode of our Planet Zoo franchise mode Let's Play, where we're going to dive right back into Elite Zoo North and cap off our Rhino enclosure and hopefully make some progress on some other things as well. I've got some big plans for what's going to happen with today's session and the next sessions over the course of the next week and a half or so. We're going to finally cap off a lot of the things that have been, half completed or 75% completed. So I'm really excited to get all that stuff done. The Southeast Asia section of our zoo, I'm really proud of now that it's all done and completed. It comes together really nicely. So I'm really excited to see that same kind of level of completion across the board. Now, folks, as always, if you've been enjoying this series and you'd like to see it continue and you'd like to see all these things getting completed, please don't hesitate to keep letting me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. It makes such a big difference in how I approach content on the channel. As I always say, looking at your likes and comments lets me know what you're interested in, and I do enjoy reading through all the comments. I read through all the comments, and I try to respond to them in one way or another, whether it's in, literal written words or it's in my behavior of, like what I try to do in my episodes, etc., etc. But even beyond that, I just enjoy reading through your comments, so please don't hesitate to keep them coming. So today's session is going to largely focus, if not entirely focus, on the Rhino enclosure, because there's a fair bit of work to do over there. And as I discuss my plans, I'm just going to quickly make some adjustments over here that some of y'all pointed out I had left behind. But there are a couple of things that I want to do. Many of you had pointed out that maybe we should swap the elephants and the rhinos because they're the elephants require more space. They can become a bigger herd, I suppose is the word. There was lots of conversation there, and many of you were suggesting that we do a switch. Now, unfortunately, this space has been dedicated to these elephants, right? Like, we built the temple around that concept, all the decorations, all the decor, all the decorative elements, however you want to phrase it. It's all based on that thematically. Like, this was dedicated for the elephants, so I would rather not move them to the Rhino space. I wouldn't want to swap them. So it comes down to a couple of alternative possibilities. One is that I actually join these two, as was the original plan. Still don't know how I feel about that. The other is that I actually split this split this enclosure. My brain kind of just stopped working there for a second. The other, and the likely option I think I'll be going with, is I will split this into half and we'll have two sets of rhinos. That'll mean that this area will hopefully be a bit more crowded, a little bit busier, and I've got some ideas as well for how I want to decorate this area over here, but I'll discuss that as we dive into the time-lapse, I suppose, which is exactly what we're kicking the session off with, folks. Time-lapse first, then a bunch of little management stuff that I want to take care of as well. Lots to do. Let's not waste any time. Let's get started. All right, folks, another hefty time-lapse, I would say. Restructuring some things based on all your feedback and your thoughts and my own personal feelings and opinions as well. So first things first, just to address the size of the Rhino enclosure. I think I mentioned this briefly before we dove into this time lapse, but I hear all of you, and I totally agree. I have this terrible habit of making enclosures much larger than they need to be. So I wanted to fix that with the rhinos and hopefully create a better viewing experience for our guests. We still end up with an enclosure that's a little bit bigger than what they need as a solo rhino, but when we pair them up and when we get them there, like when they start having little baby rhinos, they're going to need a little bit of extra space, so there is some wiggle room. Still a little bit on the large size, but I'm going to try and make this the last enclosure that I overdo. It is a vestige of a prior time, so to speak. I can't really go back and rebuild this entire corner, not without it taking a handful of episodes, and I don't think any one of us wants that. So I try to make it work, and the way to make it work, I think, is to split this enclosure into two. Now, don't just go halfway down the middle, because that would be too simple, and it would save me a lot of time, and evidently that's not something I'm interested in doing. So instead, I split it up a little differently. We do have a little bit of a central split down the center of the garden, but outside of the garden, we make things a little kind of funky, I would say. So first things first, I do build the end on this far side here, on this far, what would it be? The far east side, I guess, is according to the zoo's map, so to speak, because I wanted it to have like a fun cap. So you can see that centerpiece at the bottom The centerpiece on the south side over here is very different from any of the other pieces that are atop the roof. It just feels a bit more complete. It feels like an entire building, you know, it feels like a complex as opposed to two disparate pieces or the same thing twice over. It feels conclusive. It feels like there's an actual, you know, it feels intentional, I guess is the way to put it. So I'm quite happy with that. Unfortunately, because of, you know, the grid and my futzing around with it in the early days, it's a little messy and I have to cap some gaps, as it were. But it really is kind of funny looking back at this build, because when did we do this one? I would say about halfway through this Let's Play, and just the things I've learned between then and now. It's a constant flow of learning new things, I suppose. That's just the way I like it. But yeah, so there's a couple of issues here and there that are left over from prior days of me not knowing better, making mistakes and making, you know, silly decisions, I guess. But not a big deal. We work around them. We find our solutions. We fix the issues, as it were. Really happy with the end result, I should say. It was a time-consuming time-lapse. It was a long one, but I wanted to get it done today. I'm gonna try and reduce the number of times we stretch a build out over multiple sessions, and I think that all these issues, they kind of go hand in hand. As the enclosures get bigger, I need to spend more time on them. I spend more time on them. They end up taking more than one session to execute. So I'm gonna try and, you know, finesse that a bit more. I think it'd be better for the animals, better for the guests, better for me, better for you as a viewer. I think it'd be better for everybody. So it's nice to kind of put a bow on our overdoing it with the Rhino enclosure over here. Now, with that said, don't take that to mean I'm going to start making lazy enclosures, or things are going to be super simple, or they're going to be boring, or none of that. It's still an elite zoo. We're still gonna go, you know, over the top, just in other ways. Not as much over the top in terms of space. Our enclosures I think are still going to be a little bit on the bigger side. I don't want the animals to have exactly how much space they need. I want them to have a little bit of extra space. So I am still going to do that, but I'm gonna try and be a bit more reasonable about it. And hopefully that does the trick. Now you can see over here I've got these solar panels that I'm adjusting, and I'm trying to make them meld nicely with how we're trying to make sure that they feel like they belong. They're not just kind of tacked on. That's how they kind of have been feeling for the last little while. So I want to adjust that and make sure they feel like they belong as well. And as you may have noticed, I was putting down some education boards at the ends of these walkways. I felt like, and many of you pointed out in the comments as well, that we haven't had one of those conservation education boards in a while, and this would be a good spot to put them down. And so that's what we did. And you can see over here again, just trying to find a way to integrate the solar panels better into our aesthetic and our structure over here. And I think this works quite nicely. Nothing too overcomplicated, but it looks nice. It looks the part. It's got all the you know, aesthetic visual elements. And it obviously it does its job as well of generating power for all the education boards and heaters and, you know, speakers and everything like that. Oh, I forgot. I've been meaning to this session add speakers to the orangutan tunnel, and I apologize, but I do forget. I need to remind myself. It just slipped my mind completely, despite it being in my notes. So my apologies. But yeah, so get those solar panels spread around, and that'll allow me to get education boards across the board, because we're not dropping down education boards, and we're less likely to get donations. And I am worried a little bit about views and whatnot. People like to complain about views. Sometimes they're right. Sometimes I think it's a little silly, but we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out when the time comes. Here was me kind of planning and trying to figure out, oh, I like that a lot. I like that. I really like how the section looks. But that was me just trying to figure out exactly how I want the split to work, how I want to divide the two enclosures, without just putting like a concrete slab down, without putting the same old thing down. So I was just trying to figure out how to do it. And I have something in mind, but I do first, yeah, I think I first put the structure down, and then I adjust the barriers afterwards. But you can see first step was to pull elements from our Moria Plaza area use this to build sort of like a pseudo aqueduct kind of a thing, or make like a rooftop garden again. I liked that previously. We could do that again over here. I could, in fact, in hindsight, this is not the idea I end up going with, but in hindsight, I could have a walkway going down the middle. However, I do think having multiple viewing spots is another problem. With our camels and with our orangutan, we have basically 2 to 3 viewing spots. And the animals tend to congregate around those viewing spots. And as a result of that, we are guaranteed big donations. Depending on where those animals are, one or the other viewing spot is making more money. That is especially true for our camels, because it's all the actions in one, you know, centralized location. The bigger the spread we make in terms of how many angles people can view from, the worse it seems to be going. Now over here, in my, like, you know, little childish imagination, well, actually, first I should, I guess, touch on this. I thought it'd be nice to try and make a reference to the Ashoka Chakra, the wheel, I guess, the symbol that's in the middle of the Indian flag, but the spokes don't quite look right. So I abandoned that and go back to my original plan, which was this, which in my mind, I don't know, just like with a little bit of childish imagination, it feels like a rhino's horn. Like the circle is the head, and then the what ends up being a U, or the semicircle, is kind of like the horn. In hindsight, looking at it now, it makes me kind of wonder, does it look like it's 2 horns? At the end of the day, it's obviously just, it's representational, right? It's not an actual sculpture. I wanted to go with something a little bit more abstract, and the circles, they felt right. They felt aesthetically appropriate. And I was looking at references for different gardens when I was putting these the plants down. Unfortunately, there's just not enough variety, if I'm completely honest. The last time I did like a garden section, or well, yeah, no better way to put it. The last time I did a garden section, I used my favorite purple plants, which I'm going to be using here as well. And I will distinctly remember there was at least one comment that was like, stop using those purple plants, you use them everywhere. And it's like, well, if I need a temperate Asiatic plant, I don't really have many options for colorful plants, unfortunately. I don't want to upset the animals just for the sake of color, but I don't really have that many choices. So I'm sorry, I guess, but it's got to be these purple plants. I wish there were more options. And we'll see. Maybe with the update, we'll get some new plants, and we can, you know, update this garden a little bit, make it a bit more vibrant and lush. I'm happy with the overall structure. I'm happy with the overall, like, layout of it. I don't know if I'm happy with all of the like the details of it. Specifically the plants. I feel like we should probably put down more plants, actually. In fact, I'm almost convinced we should put down more plants now that I think about the end result. But as always, I mean, y'all let me know in the comments down below, because again, I have this tendency to overdo things. Maybe I'm again looking to overdo the garden. It's not supposed to be a garden. It's supposed to hint at a garden. It's supposed to be an animal enclosure. And the thing that should matter most is the happiness of the animal. Now here you can see I'm kind of trying to build a fountain. And again, I find myself not having the pieces I need. The rhino pieces are all African rhinos. African rhinos look different. They have 2 horns. So even though it's just the head, there are other differences as well. But just with the head, it's immediately, you know, the wrong animal. So I can't do any of the rhino pieces. So we've got the elephant. I guess it's a part of the same palace or temple or whatever that is dedicated to the elephants and whatnot. So sure, it's a tie-in. That's the justification I give myself to build this fountain out of elephant heads. But overall, yeah, pretty happy with how that looks. And then, of course, got to get more of this purple plant down just to get that color spread out a little bit more. Again, I'd love if we could get some, you know, nice, vibrant yellows. And there are yellow flowering plants in the game. Maybe I should double check, but I'm pretty sure they don't work for the climate in the zone that the rhinos are from. Now, I believe one of the last things we tackled today is this little section over here. Personally, I really like this idea. It's like a nice loungy area where you can relax and watch the rhinos as you eat. And so I wanted to get some like coverings and stuff. I want to maybe elaborate and embellish this area a little bit more, actually, than what I do today. because I really like the idea of it, and it is getting used. It is seeing a fair bit of action, which always makes me happy. But I feel like... oh, no, that's not the last thing we do. So, again, just a momentary bit of time being pushed forward so I can move the Rhino so that it won't give me an emergency, you know, animal escaped situation. I wanted to do the habitat walls in the time lapse because I didn't want to bore everybody watching me struggle with putting down barriers. But that is, I think that's the last thing I do over here. So I just adjust these enclosure barriers to make two separate enclosures. One that goes all the way to the river on the, you know, south side, so to speak, on the side where Southeast Asia begins, or is, and the other one goes down to the river on the east side, you know, so around the bend, basically. I explain more after the time lapse, but that is the time lapse. Hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you liked the end result. I'm pretty happy with it. As always, nothing's ever complete, so let me know your thoughts down below. And for now, Time-lapse Party Elite bids you farewell and sends you back to regular speed Party Elite. All right, folks, that ended up being a fair bit longer than anticipated, if I'm completely honest. I tend to underestimate how long these things will take. Now, I've done as much as I can for the enclosure during that time lapse. I have to hit play so that I can get some of our effects going. Got to get the you know, fountain with its water coming out and stuff like that, obviously. So there's a little bit of VFX stuff still to do over here, and I'll duplicate it over. And I might actually want to do another pass. I really need to figure out other plants that we can use, or what I think I might do is, I don't want to overdo like plant beds and things like that. You know, that just starts to feel very, I don't know, it just starts to like get in the way. I feel like I'm not a big, in some cases it works, but in this case I kind of wanted it to be open. So I do think I need to revisit this a little bit, but I think we'll maybe do that a little later when I come back here for a beauty pass. What I think is, again, we're going to just cap things off over here. I really want to get to work on the Himalayan bears next. And then maybe a couple episodes down the line we'll come back, because I still have to put like caps on these. I got to decorate these a little bit. I got an excellent name for this little corner, little cubby over here, so I want to get that implemented as well. Still stuff to do. It never ends, right? It never ends. But I do really want to experiment with this new enclosure layout. You did notice, I imagine, at one point I unpaused the game just so I could get the Rhino packed up so we could reformat the enclosures. And so now we've got two, and I do need to put one of the, I have to put one of the doors in still. This one over here will need a door. So the hope is, again, that we will, hang on now, what happened here? Yeah, we're good. The hope is that we will be able to maintain two sets of rhinos, and hopefully that will result in enough views for all of our guests. It'll make people happier. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't work. We'll find out. But it should certainly be a more suitable amount of space, I would say, per rhino. One of the sets of rhinos will have more space than the other. They will be our lucky group, I suppose. But overall, I think this will be a lot better as far as like a viewing experience is concerned and everything. There's got to be a better way to hook this up right now. This is causing me some heartache here. I wonder if moving the tree will do the trick. Terrain modification failed. Let's see. Because I know having the concrete and stuff nearby might be causing the problem. But before I go to that extreme, okay, it seems as though this might need a little bit of reworking. Now, the other option, of course, is to have another staff entrance elsewhere, but I wanted to put these together. This felt like the right kind of approach. Let's see. You're fine. You're fine up to here, and then the moment you turn around, you become obstructed, which is an interesting kind of an ordeal here. Oh, right. You know what? It's probably because of the stairs above. I really wish the minimum clearance was a little bit higher. That's okay, though, not a problem. What we can probably do is move this over a little bit. I need to do something like this, and then add a step in the middle, make that concrete as well, and then move this over. There we go, something like that. And then over here, whoops, over here, if I get the habitat gate down, will you connect? No, of course you won't. Why would you? Why would you make my life easier? All right, so that's kind of a pain. That is kind of a pain. Let's see, what can we do here? Gotta put this down. Just to have it. Let's go ahead and get rid of you real quick. And let's get rid of you as well. Let's move you out of here. Just want some room to look and think. I don't think, I mean, I might be able to pull this terrain out a little bit. Whoops, not exactly what I was going for. Nah, that's not gonna work. All right. Work with me here, game. Yeah, see the stairs over there are obstructing. See, if I clear that out, then we're good. All right, so let's try this. Let's try this. I don't wanna have a bridge down here. I think that'll look really messy. Can I? No. Game doesn't like that. Could I potentially come in from the other side? Game doesn't seem to like that either. What about if I had stairs up and around this way? Nope, that's a slope. Can't connect two slopes, unfortunately. Okay, all right. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, is this it? It looks like that's it. The corner over here? Sure. Cool. Does the trick. So yeah, so our keeper can come down over here. Obviously need to get this tree out of the way because that looks very obviously unrealistic. Let's maybe put you over here instead. Yeah, that doesn't really work. Oh, it's becoming kind of messy. I don't like it. I don't like it. Move you over to here. It looks a little bit better. What if we get you over here? I think that looks a little bit better. That looks a lot better, actually. Cool. All right, so the keeper can come down. Well, keepers, vets, whatever, they can come down, and they can go to either of these enclosures. So one of the enclosures is this section over here, all the way up to the water over here. So they can drink over here, they can rest over here. I got to put down like feeding trays and stuff like that. The other enclosure, I can't believe I'm doing 2 rhino enclosures. The other enclosure, this one's the bigger one. It's got all this space down over here, and it's got this over here. So they both have access to a section of the river. They both have access to the garden itself as well. So I think that's going to work out. Now, before we hit play and start messing around with VFX and stuff, I do actually want to get our rhino feeding trays. I don't think we'll need, whoops. I don't think we'll need water because they should be able to drink from here. If they're going to rest over here, I'd like them to maybe eat out over here. Let's see, somewhere over here. Sure. These guys are going to drink down over here. They should be resting up over here, but let's go ahead and get them eating up over here. I want to try and spread the attention of the guests for the rhinos at a couple different spots. We'll see if it works out. Actually, you know what? No, that should be fine. And I got to get some toys and stuff for them as well, of course. Rhinos, apparently, I imagine African and Indian rhinos, yeah, both have similar tastes as far as toys and stuff are concerned. Let's go ahead, and what we can do here is we can have a toy over here, have a different toy over here, and we can kind of swap them out. So that, you know, we'll keep trading back and forth. I think that should do the trick in keeping the enrichment fresh. Okay, so food, water, toys, and we'll go in and finesse that stuff in a bit. I hope that our vegetation and plant types and stuff are all okay, but we'll check that in a moment. One more thing to do, actually, before we hit play is introduce education boards. I'm really happy with, like, the end cap over here, so to speak, but of course we need some education boards about the animals themselves. I wonder if it will register that the animal used to be here. Let's find out. Only one way to know is by trying, right? So let's go ahead and check it out. Please tell me. Yes, beautiful. Okay, cool. I was worried I'd have to, you know, redo the whole setup and whatnot. put you over here. Thank you. I know I don't have to hit the check mark, it's just become a habit. Alright, so we've got the Rhino over here. Being spoken about. Decent coverage. Here, let's do that. And let's go ahead and duplicate this. And I've got power basically all the way across the area, so we should be good in terms of dropping our education boards wherever we want to, as long as things stay aligned. Let's move you a little bit further over to here. Yep, excellent. Make sure that you are lined up nicely. There, so a little bit of a nudge over there. Yep, that looks, nope, that does not look good. Pillar clipping through the TV, there we go. There we go, got the rhinos over here. And let's go ahead and get, I think one more, maybe we'll do the trick. One more over here. A bit of overlap, there we go. That'll do, I think. Yep, that should do the trick. Make sure you're not clipping through here, please, and thank you. Beautiful. Do we need another one over here? Maybe? Power is, like, we get power coverage, so that's fine. Sure, let's go ahead and get another one. Let's go ahead and get another one. Again, education and happiness combine to power the donations, which in turn keep our zoo running, right? So let's get one at this corner, I think. My one concern is this hallway over here, where people can still see the rhinos, but they might not be getting education. So that's one thing I need to be cognizant of. I need to see how many people are crowding in that area and adjust if necessary. I feel like some people will be, looking from over here, looking at the elephant on, looking at the elephant on this side, and then looping around to look at the rhinos on this side. So I will have to balance that out. I do wonder, we have the elephant education is really gonna push here. I narrow you down a little bit, right? And then get these guys over here. We're really trying to sort out the education element. Oops, I should do the other copy. This kind, Control X, where you get the little gimbal. I think I'm gonna reduce the volume of the ones in this hallway. Otherwise, there'll just be a ton of overlapping and confusion, cacophony. And that will hopefully do the trick. Hopefully. If it doesn't, we'll solve it. It's okay. You gotta make problems to get to solutions, right? Can't have a solution without a problem, so we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Alright, that's good. Let's go ahead and duplicate these two. I wish things were aligned over here, but I'll accept my fate. Probably a mistake I made many sessions ago that I'm now still, paying the price for. But once the India section is done, that'll be that. Let's do this. These rhinos, let's go ahead and get some of those donation bins up over here. Because again, I feel like people will almost certainly crowd onto this side because it's right here. And if they don't want to go further, then this'll, this'll serve the purpose, so to speak, unless they're planning on continuing on towards Southeast Asia. So there was a really elaborate comment, actually, and in the comments of the previous episode, which detailed out what might be a major issue that we've been having in our zoo, which is that our paths don't loop. Now, we've discussed this in the past a couple times, but I've paid attention to that, obviously, and it's something that many of you have brought up, and I always take that into consideration. But apparently, it's not just a matter of aesthetics or thinking that it'll work or not work, but apparently a developer had confirmed on a stream or so that guests look for loops. And by not having loops set up everywhere, we might actually be hurting our zoo a fair bit. So we're going to hopefully sort that out. I'm gonna try and sort it out today. I might need to spread it out a little bit because we've got a couple of spots where that is a bit of an issue. So we'll tackle it in due time, hopefully. Let's not put this over here. Let's keep this as a bit of a blank spot, maybe. Or I can get one more of these. One more of the rhino ones. Right, let's get this over to here. There we go. Make sure it's not clipping. Beautiful. Strong word, beautiful. Maybe not the right word, but it's the word I've chosen to go with. There we go. All right. Wish I hadn't noticed that these weren't centered. But yeah, that should do the trick. And I gotta get a bunch of them over here as well, right? All right, let's do it this way. I think I'm much better off coming in over here. I'm dropping you down like this. There we go. And our speaker as well. There you go. Let's make sure we can assign this as well before we... No, we cannot. Oh, yeah, we can. It's just for some reason the step down. Fair enough, I'll take it. I just need to assign one anyway, the rest we're just duplicating. Let's get you... Let's get your volume adjusted first. Let's go with... Oh, I guess this one has to be kind of quiet, because it's right next to another one. I say right next to, I just mean it's like relatively close to. I guess we could move this down though. Man. I wish there was an alignment where you could like choose the angle of the gizmo. Did I call it a gimbal earlier? I meant gizmo. Choose which object it derives it from, because then that way you can kind of control where the pivot point and stuff is and what angle it faces. That would be great. That would be great. Now, why are you red? Because the game doesn't actually think that rhinos are coming in here. That's fine. That's fine, game. You're allowed to think that. You are allowed to think that. Let's go ahead and pull you a little bit further over here. I think that should be enough. I don't want to overkill. Spend an hour on just laying out education boards, right? Over a little bit. Go. There we go. And, okay, maybe one more. Just one more. Last one. Get that down all the way over here. And we're going to see how people behave in the area, and depending on their behavior, we might shift around some of the education boards or move some of the donation bins and things like that, just to see where we're able to make the maximum gain out of our placements. But I really want to see how the animals behave in the area and how people come through, and if they come through and if they loop around. Because again, we've completed the loop here, so I'm hoping people will loop around, you know, either go back up that way or continue down towards Southeast Asia. Now, there are a couple of names I want to assign as well. I got some excellent name suggestions, so let's get those going. So just a memento. You are now, oh god, RHINOSERIOUS. There we go. Sorry, I had to like read that 7 times before I finally got RHINOSERIOUS. No, I said you are rhinos are us. Rhinoceros. Right. It works on so many levels. Many of you suggested that one. It works on so many levels. I love it. Our info center is Rhino, because of course it is. Our pip shot juice. Oh yeah, a little educational bit over here. It's keratin juice, as a reference to keratin, which is the stuff that fingernails and teeth, I believe, are made of, and rhino's horns. Rhino's horns are in fact not ivory, folks. So it perhaps works out that this is not a part of the ivory palace after all, because that would be a bit of a misnomer. And then finally, Monsieur Frit, you are going to be, oh, I have to choose here. Okay, you're gonna be Rhinoceros. Brilliant. And then we also have, I'm gonna see if I can get another one in here. You know, a little bit of food variety is always welcome, so let's go ahead, because I have another name suggestion that I thought I needed, so I picked one and I wrote it down. Now that I have it picked, I kind of want to assign it. Oh, I forgot you can't just type food and see food. Whoa, that was a mistake. I hate that it doesn't realize I'm typing here and it still interacts with the rest of the game. It gets me every time. All right, next food stall. What goes with the name here? I'm gonna go ahead and make this a hot dog squad. And this one will hopefully fit over here. Oh, it's looking like it might. Nah, it doesn't want to fit here. That's fine. We got plenty of other spots we can pop it into. Oh yeah, there we go. A little bit of perseverance goes a long way. Go ahead and pop you down over here. And we're gonna call you... where'd it go? There it is. Rhine and Die. I love them. Y'all have some great name suggestions. I love them. Thank you very much for participating in that way. It's always a tough pick, but it's tough because everything's like supreme quality. It's all, oh no, it's all A+. You might even say it's all A+. Back on topic. Let's go ahead and get our rhinos in here. Let's go ahead and hit play. Let's go ahead and check our animal trading so that we can get some more rhinos. Hold on. I need to check. We have a male rhino or do we have a female rhino? I believe we have a male rhino, right? Named Viraj. I vaguely remember that. What are my animals? It's a name that I have a, like, memory connection to, which is why I'm fairly confident. Oh my god, we gotta do something about this. These guys are not gonna be... How do they already... I mean, wow, they work real fast, don't they? Okay. I just noticed that, so I'm just gonna do that real quick. My apologies. I shouldn't have let myself get distracted like that. Rhinos. The best way to make sure I don't get distracted is by doing this. Indian Rhino, HI. Now, the big difference between the Indian and the African rhino... Yes, we have a male. If I recall correctly, it is the size, the Indian rhino, or the white rhino, I believe that name is interchangeable, is smaller, and it only has one horn as opposed to two. And actually, on that note, I received some excellent name suggestions for the enclosure already. I've got some kind of shortlisted, but I think I'll drop a name down next session. So you let me know in the comments down below what we should call the rhino enclosure, and I shall hopefully have one picked for next session, and we'll drop it in as one of the elements to cap this area off. Where is our... Are the other rhinos not in here, or are they in here under a different name? No way. Am I horribly mistaken in the fact that there are two different kinds of rhinos that exist? Because I'm pretty sure African rhinos are absolutely a thing. In fact, there is art in the game. Like, there's like sculptures and stuff in the game that... I can't wait until the updates that are coming up. They're absolutely huge. There's some great changes coming up with the upcoming updates. One of them being, if I recall correctly, you can search the Zoopedia. African... Wow. No way. I totally would have assumed. Anyway. 2 horns on the African rhino, 1 on the Indian rhino, and a size difference as well. And Indian rhinos, I believe, have a bit of like spotting on their armor, so to speak. So it's a bit more like they're a little bit lighter in shade. Sorry, I got distracted with educational material. I hope y'all don't mind. Just excited to share. Let's go ahead and say hello to a couple of folks, including myself. I can't say hi to myself. Just came to die. I'm sorry to hear that. Please do it close to the exit. Or, alternatively, in like the tiger pen or something, at least make it interesting. All right, there are our little extra bits of conservation credits, and now we look at animal trading. So Mira here is the only female, kind of small, but the longevity's pretty good. I mean, if you were to mate with Viraj, we're looking at all right genes, like smack down the middle, kind of dropping, like guaranteed to drop the 83 of Viraj down. That's kind of not, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Ooh, I like this 301. That's a non-question. No issues there. It is another male, I know, but that's for our, other enclosure then. So fair enough. Let's go ahead and get you in a quarantine down here. There we go. And before I forget again, because I already have a couple times, let's go ahead and make sure that our zoo has its work zones set up properly. India Center. Need to add our solar panels. all the new solar panels, quite a few of them. Our new enclosure as well. You can see them quite clearly here now. And let's make sure y'all are included as well. Cool, there we go. And again, they're sharing the facilities down over here, so that should make things, you know, a little easier to work with. Okay. Let me check something real quick here before I hit play again. Sorry, there's just so many things to do. I just want to check some elements. See, this negative impact area is the problem. One of the suggestions that I've received is to, like, close the loop for the sidewalk over here. Like, the footpath over here, not sidewalk. And I just wonder how we go about doing that. Because what I could do, just as a quick experiment, is I could... You know, we could... pull this out this way. It does not want to go through the terrain. That's reasonable. Obstructed. Okay, let's make it narrow here then. Still intersecting terrain. There we go. So I can kind of like do this sort of a thing. Make you wider. Where it goes around. Right? And I mean, you'd have some pretty neat views as well if you were to come around this way. And I could either have it connect over here and then shift some of this stuff around so it doesn't really bother our guests as much. Or I could have it come around the front, I suppose, and actually go inside the enclosure, which would be pretty neat, all things considered. Like, we could do this kind of a thing. Let's say... this kind of a thing. I can't force a connection there. I can't. You get what I'm getting at, though, right? Like, you see what I'm saying. And I just don't know what's the best way to go about doing it. Are you gonna let me? No, you're not. Why would you? See if we can't do a little slower, kind of a gradual dip here. No. Anyway, I need to figure that out. But this is one that I need to sort out, like how I want to connect it back in, because this is one of the loops that I need to create. It'd be pretty neat to go over the enclosure, but I think it would also potentially look pretty messy. Nonetheless, I just wanted to throw that out there so I could, well, throw it out there and see what y'all had to say about that, what y'all thought about that. With that said, let's go ahead and hit play and allow our new Rhino to go through quarantine, allow our old Rhino to be moved, and allow our guests to see our new animal and for us to see what they think about the new animal. Yeah, Viraj, enrichment is kind of low. Oh yeah, we don't have any food enrichment for you. Right. So Indian Rhino, let's go ahead and take a look at food enrichment. Get the hanging barrel feeder maybe down over here, so there's another interesting view. And then we'll get the large barrel feeder, I think, up over here. So yet another interesting view down over here, let's say. Cool. Now I need to check one more thing. Are you able to escape? The answer is yes. The question is where. Really, you can get out from here. Interesting, because the elephants can't. I guess you are smaller than an elephant. Are smaller than an elephant. Diseased animal discovered. You felt no, John V. Man, the elephants, they really easily get ill, don't they? Really easily. Gotta turn off align to surface here. There we go. Block this space off. And again, I don't mind the boats going through it because it's like you're going through a dense bit of I guess brush or literally bamboo in this case. All right, let's take a look at your escape routes again. A little bit over here. I think it has more to do with the extents of the enclosure. Oh no, I'm very much wrong. They just can, yeah, escape. Go ahead and put this down over here. All right, what are we looking at? Better over here, excellent. A little bit of escaping happening over here. That should be an easy fix. Gotta pull some of you down over here. See, this is because of the enclosure. could actually edit the barrier. Get this over a bit. Coming over here for a drink? Yep, I think so. Oh, that's an interesting sound. I don't think I've ever heard a rhino. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever heard a rhino. Definitely seen them in zoos. They're like, they sound like distressed cows. If I were to describe that sound, that's how I would describe it. Don't know how I feel about that. Don't want you to be distressed, buddy. I also don't want you to escape. Hang in there. Hang on, hang on. I see you making a break for it. This has got to be, by the way, the deadliest boat ride known, like, in the history of humanity. Oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. No, stop. Of all the places you could go, you had to go here. Of all the places. Come on. Way back over here. And again, it's just because of the enclosure angle as well. All right, well, that's that. What are all these issues here? Vet research complete, incorrectly placed education board. Okay, that's all this stuff because we haven't got a rhino in there yet. That's not a problem. Okay, that's all that really is. Got a little bit of research done over here. It's on the orangutan. Let's go ahead and make sure Amelia Young. Is anybody researching the rhino? Nobody's researching the rhino. So let's go ahead and get Brandy Lee working on the polar bears. Get some of that extra education going. And Amelia Young, let's get you on the Indian rhino. Oh, beautiful. And looks like right on time. Arin, we're gonna move you to this enclosure. Yes. All right, cool. Low welfare back over here. Social health a big part of it. Social health is a big part of it. Hopefully y'all are getting fed and stuff. Looks like people are kind of coming back here. Look here, animals. Wow. Okay. Yes, I can see the issue. Here we go. Yeah, it's a lot better. A lot better. All right, what's the deal here? You're bringing the rhino over, I think. No, you are a guest. I should hope you're not bringing the rhino over then. Still a bit of an escape available over here. I do think that's partly because of the enclosure, though. Yeah. Go ahead and move this element over. I think that'll do the trick. Look at that. It stopped right when I made that edit. Totally making a break for it. Totally making a break for it. Yeah, we're good now. The area is secure. You're able to come inside. Yes. Yeah, you're able to walk in through those gates. You've got your feeder here. You've got your hard shelter as well. So we'll see. Hopefully they'll move, into there as well. We've got our other rhino that literally just got delivered. All right. Also, great genes. Let's go ahead and take a look at some stuff, though. Good stuff. A little bit of extra space, but, once there are babies, once there's a mate, once there are babies, I think it'll probably balance out a bit nicely, hopefully. We do need to adjust your terrain, though. Could do with some more soil. Fair enough. Gotta get rid of that long grass. I guess they don't like the feeling of grass between their toes. Let's actually... long grass is probably my least favorite looking of the terrain, like, textures. Only because at certain distances it looks very, very video gamey. Which, I mean, I'm not... like, it's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it is a video game. It does have its limitations. And at certain angles and certain distances, it's the one that most often has issues. Vedica's about to mature. Ooh, that's an A star. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. All right, so you are happy with your terrain. You're happy with your environment, except for this one tree. Gone now. Too much coverage. Okay, we might need to adjust that a little bit if it is really that much of a problem. Temperature's a problem. Ah, okay, we should solve that. Facilities without power back over here. I assume that's because our generator here needs to be fixed. And it seems the inspector has arrived. Okay, well, hold on. Follow the mechanic down here. Let's get that sorted out. Animal's thirsty. Hopefully that'll be fixed soon, please, and thank you. Sorry, down over here. I was checking on you. I want to see if you can escape anywhere. Yes, you can, up over there. And I think, again, that's mainly because of the shape of our habitat. Because what happens is... I mean, hey, we're drawing a crowd over here, at least. It will need their umbrellas. But yeah, what happens over here is this thing, yeah, cuts through this way. And so they can escape, technically, into that little area over there. Go ahead and add... Nope, that's not what I meant. Add a little subsection. Move that out. Come on now. There we go. Hopefully that does the trick. Vedica's about to mature. Yep. And I will need to adjust things when that happens. Okay, cool. This works. This works. All right. Awesome. Now we just have to make sure that the guests are actually happy with the resulting views and whatnot. Now, as we wait on that intel, let's go ahead and find Vedica. Syra has also got some pretty great genes. Like, Vedica's amazing, right? Vedica's amazing. Another reason I can't wait for the upcoming update is because we'll have a lot more details about genetics and offspring and relations and genealogy in general. And I love that stuff. I think it's absolutely fascinating, and I want to see how deep the game goes in terms of tracking all that. So, okay, I'm at a bit of a crossroads here, folks. Vedica is 191.66.83. Syra is 191.66.66. But technically, Vedica's better. She obviously... I mean, do we trade her out? Oh, it's so heartbreaking. This game is not for people like me, where we just get attached to every animal. Sorry, what was I looking for? The stud book. Parents, siblings, I mean, we can do the trade cycling, right? We can do the trade cycling. It looks like both her and Anirudru are both maturing. All right, so right away, though, to the trade center. And where is your brother? Syra, where is your offspring? Ah. Hiding up over here, are we? I'm so glad they use the tree houses. It does make me very happy. Look at that, great stats. Immunity's a little low, but still great stats. Maybe let's downgrade him to an A, because there is a yellow. So let's go ahead and put you into the trade center as well. Lien, our giant panda, is about to mature. Husband and wife just having a bit of a disagreement over here over having more kids or not. You can stop fighting. It's no longer overcrowded. Hey. I'm pretty sure. I thought I just got rid of all of our extras. Ah, got hurt. Of course you got hurt. You gotta pick that fight. But they're very young still. They can still have more, you know, really high quality babies. That's why I took the other two into the trade center, and I need to figure out what I want to do with them. Inspector is going around. Habitat 37 will get investigated. Or inspected, I should say. Investigated sounds like I know I've done something wrong. Inspected. Everyone's pretty happy across the board. Yeah, I would say so. American bison having a bit of a... Oh, there I go again. American bison. Always say it wrong. A bit of a issue here. Too many males, it seems. James. 6650 83 0. Watkins gets to stay. Despite not technically being the alpha, his size is a little bit on the smaller side, but only ever so slightly. Now Watkins, actually I might need to trade both of them out. Who can you mate with? Inbreeding, expecting offspring, but I'm pretty sure you're related as well, are you not? Embe. Or is that Emberly or is it Embe? I'm guessing it's Emberly. Fair enough, so you're related there. Olivia is inbreeding, Ava is inbreeding. Yeah, so I guess Watkins has to go. I could get rid of James as well. The rhinos are going to be really upset now. I had to go sort that out. Alright, Watkins, where are you? Good genes, so we'll trade you out. Bison take a lot of time to be traded out, right? I don't remember often trading out the bison. Alright, now our rhinos. Look at that, they're getting snow and everything. Unacceptable. What kind of temperatures? 13 to 40, so as I expected, we'll go ahead and pull the heaters from the elephants, because I'm pretty sure, yep, 30. Go ahead and put these down over here. Warm our friends up. Over here. Here. Let's go ahead and put another one down over here, I think. The thing is, we could use hot and cold to kind of influence where the animals go, but that just feels a little gross. I think, at least. It feels a little gross. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Okay, there we go. Should help warm all this up. Very nice, very nice. Let's go ahead and actually warm this space up as well. Okay, put you down over here. There we go. This will be good. This will make this all nice and comfy. Drop you down over there. Drop you down over there. That's floating. There we go. And get one down in this corner. That should do the trick. We've got some gaps. We've got one tiny little gap over here. Right next to the feeding area, so don't want that to be a problem. And some gaps over here. Let's go ahead and fill those out as well. Beautiful. Wow, it is dark. Alright, that should do the trick there. Now let's take a quick peek and see if we have female rhinos available. I have a lot of animals I should trade out. Oof. I guess I'll pull Shreya in. I was seeing a lot of bad stats on the female rhinos, eh? I guess I could put her in with Viraj. There's a bigger variance with the longevity. I guess I could pull Shreya in with either of them, or, you know, with both of them at different times. Let's go ahead and adopt you. Not a lot of rhinos being traded right now. It's all Frontier Zoo, so that means it's from the developers. So yes, it's the same zoo the rhinos have had, but it's because it's a developer's zoo. Also, I do want to go around eventually and do another pass of like enrichment and whatnot. Our animals are once again kind of getting bored of their toys and not having a good time. Folks are coming through. Do we need more bins? You know what? I always need more bins. Just better safe than sorry, right? And we do have an ATM over here. I wonder if I need to add another one. I wonder if one ATM is just not enough. I'm going to put one over there. And let's go ahead and move this one. Just because it's kind of awkwardly placed right now. Move that one over here. Let's get another one up over here. Right, that bin's being used, so I'm going to go ahead and say that was a worthwhile investment. And let's take a quick look. Delete you, because you don't make any sense. You're in the middle of nowhere. Bring you in over here. This heater needs to be on the ground, preferably. There we go. Oh, don't tell me all these heaters are up in the air. Okay, good. It's not all of them. Just a couple of them, it looks like. Yeah, just a couple of them. We do have a rhino over here. Are people coming through? All right, starting to get some donations already on this one. What about that one? Nothing there. Nothing there. Again, yes, I know my enclosures do tend to get a little bit on the larger side. Understatement of the century, I know, but trying to get better at it, folks. Trying to get better at it. Good to see the rhinos moving in and out. In and out. In and out. Oot and a boot. I help myself sometimes. It looks like it looks like these are a bit better as well. In terms of, you know, they don't have 10 times as much space as they need. Animal died. Zavrina. Oh, well, we haven't missed it. You're not alone. We're here for you. Man. Ever since I've been playing Planet Zoo, I've been really badly wanting to go to the zoo. Unfortunately, given our current circumstances, that hasn't been an option. But really, I really want to... Actually, I don't even want to go to a zoo. I just want to hang out with some animals, you know? Just like, chill. I'm fortunate enough to have a bunny at home. Zavrina's going to pass away, but she is expecting offspring in July. Seems as though she hasn't actually died. The game was lying to me, I suppose. Well, she supposedly is very much dead, but still wiggling those ears. Alright. What kind of challenges have we got right now? Yearly donation profits of 181.5. We're close. Very close. If we take a look at our finances. February, again, we might have just fed, but if you look at the last couple years, we've been making money again, so that's feeling good. The orangutan have been, I think, very, very helpful in getting money back into our pockets. They are drawing some serious crowds. We have the babies as well. And depending on where they go, crowds form in different spots. So I'm still very much happy with the overall structure, you know, because when they are over here next to the tunnel, we see the donations over here get made, and when they're out over here, we see donations get made over here. So I'm pretty happy with that. Look at that, already 1,000. It's only mid-Feb. Just in time. Cool as well to see these things get filled. That's our other baby, isn't it? You just got born, didn't you? Didn't you? Oh, look at those genes. 75, 66, 83, 66. Not bad. Not bad. But yeah, we'll have to do some stuff for their toys and whatnot. Looks like this area back over here is still seeing some decent activity. There is the info center here, right? I believe the one in the middle is, yep. So people are hopefully buying their umbrellas and stuff. The action here is still ongoing as well, so that's good. I figure what's happening is people come, they give their donation over there, and by the time they get to here, they've already donated. I could add some more ATMs. I've got one over there, and I've got one over here, so it's not like we're lacking ATMs or anything. I could start charging for the ATMs. That's another thing I could consider if I feel the pressure of finances. All right, Shreya, let's go ahead and pull you in to this one. All right. Great to see the crowds over here, actually. That tells me that this was much required, much needed. Guest happiness is almost at a full 5. Everything's at 5 except for guest happiness. Little shift change going on. Scenery is epic. You get to see the Indian elephants so healthy, or looking so healthy at least. Best scenery ever, so much room to walk around. Good, good, good. I'm parched. Did you go to the place that sells drinks? Definitely gonna need an umbrella. Or you could hide into the cover there, but you know, you do you. You do you. By the way, many of you have been asking about another zoo tour. Definitely in the works. The plan is episode 75. The last time we did it was in episode 50. I think it'd be pretty cool to do it in episode 75 next. It's a nice, you know, decent gap. We've come a long way since then, that's for sure. Oh yeah, you know, we're getting people with some decent views and some decent donations, so that's good. Oh yeah, look, look, look. Amazing, hiding from the rain. What a beauty. What a beauty. All right. Now before I forget again, because again, I have been forgetting. Go ahead and get ourselves our little fountains. I think I want the small jet. I don't think this needs to be a very big jet. No, okay, it needs to be a bigger jet than that. Hang on. Am I missing something here? Is it not fountain that I want? Is it sprinkler? No. It's the one that I use often to make waterfalls out of. That's the one I'm looking for. I should get some more falling leaves and stuff as well for like the orangutan. I'm trying to minimize the excess a water jet. That's what it is, right? Whenever possible. Only because of the frame rate that we're witnessing. I'm just trying to be a bit more cognizant of that, I guess. Don't want to do it at the expense of too much fanciness, but this isn't really working. All right, well, we can do it the other way where it, well, we can either do this where it tips a bit more. Yeah, that doesn't work. So let's put it in your mouth. That over there. That. There we go. Just a little bit of love for the fountain. That was a mistake. I want to actually have it there. Cool, perfect. And I'm thinking, again, I think I mentioned this earlier as well, like I might want to do more to this garden area, but I just wanted to see how the guests were feeling and how the animals were feeling. Looks like the animals are pretty happy. We are seeing at least one of the enclosures reaching its cap as far as oh, I'm missing one. As far as vegetation coverage is concerned, as we noticed. But I do want to be, again, cognizant of that as well. Come on, give me the, come on. I'm clicking right on it. I understand why the game doesn't understand I'm clicking on it. I understand how bounding boxes work. There we go. The elephant. Anyways, I understand how it works technically. I understand what the limitation is. Still wish it works. I wish I use my power of belief. Try and get the clicks through where I need them. Alright, now it's looking pretty symmetrical, I would think. Yep, and we can also get the splashes in. So for this fountain, if I search it, do that kind of a thing. There we go. Try some more medium ones as well. Add a little bit more life to this. There we go. Sun's beginning to set. Alright, there. There's a bit more activity. Now I might make a more high-end version of this. No, I don't need a heater to come with me. Yeah, I might make a more high-end version of this if I feel it's necessary, and if y'all feel it's necessary, let me know. But for now, I think it does the job. I might want to add some more flowers and stuff in here, though. But again, there's only just that one purple flower that I like to use a lot. So I don't know, it makes me kind of wonder. Where are you, buddy? Why are you hungry? We know keepers are able to come through. Lots of people. Speak of the devil, we were just talking about crowds showing up in the tunnel. I guess it's easy cover, right? Oh, hello. There you are. Dewey. Oh, did you just come down from up top? You did, didn't you? Oh man, that's dope. Okay, he's eating. Yeah, I guess they were just going to look for food. Animal is starving. Who's starving? Rotty. Yo, did you see that jump? That's awesome. We came here just in time. Jumped from there to here. Wow, okay. Wasn't expecting to see that, but need to go get food. Where is the closest area to eat? Here, and it's not been filled. Oh, but looks like you've needed water? Yeah, I guess it was water, not food. I should have checked the details. I just assumed it said starving, not thirsty. Actually, looking at the orangutan reminds me. So last session I asked what the common noun for the the collective noun for orangutan is. I got a multitude of answers. One was a buffoonery. Was it a buffoonery? Oh, I forget now. There was a couple of different answers. The truth is, apparently there is none. Apparently the animal is so typically solitary. Oh, why hasn't this been cleaned? Apparently it's typically so solitary that they don't have a collective noun for them. There were a couple suggestions though, and I thought that they all made sense in their own ways, but the reality is, yeah, there is no actual collective noun for orangutan. Sure, we could come up with some clever ones. Propose them to zoologists. Have them completely ignore us. It seems strange that some animals have them and some don't. My favorite has got to be for crows. There's a murder of crows. Talk about a history of negative associations and connotations. Alright, let's go ahead and level some of these people up, and I do think we need to maybe start getting some more keepers and stuff. People are starting to get tired. People are starting to be overworked. We might need to consider that. What's going on here? Multiple animals have low welfare because of these exhibits of ours that we didn't tend to. That's the thing, if I don't tend to them every other episode, it starts to become a problem. Go ahead and keep some of you around, obviously, and the rest can go. Since we're here, might as well take care of some of these other options, other animals as well, rather. There we go. Inspector has left. Report is ready for viewing. I'll take a look at it in a second. Because I value the happiness of my animals more than the grade I get. That is why. And one last animal. Oof, yeah, that's a lot. There we go. Alright, what's the grade I got? We got 5 stars, and across the board 5 stars. Beautiful. Nice to be back in form. Back in form. Habitat cleanliness. Hopefully someone's getting up over here to clean it up. Keep her en route. Yes. Must have been a serious problem. There's a couple of. Is that? Are you kidding me? Are these the remains of? Don't be gross like that, game. I feel like they'll... Oh, I don't want to talk about that. Don't want to think about that. Vet research complete. The rhino, good stuff. Active disease. Who's got it? I'm sure our folks are staying on top of that. What else have we got going on over here? Diseased animal discovered. Oh, no. Oh, no. Vet called. This is a problem. Well, thankfully, we've done all the research that we need to do. Another big change that's coming through is, with the upcoming update, research actually goes between your zoos in a franchise. So if and when we start our next zoo, we will have all of our research carryover. Now, hang on. I saw a bunch of trains backed up. What's the deal with this? Dangerous animals escaped. Okay. Alright, how have you escaped? That's not really an escape. Come on. He's back. He's back. The game gets really dark when it gets dark, doesn't it? Where's the heater that we put down over here? Must have undid it by mistake. Let's pop you down over here. Pop you down over here. Guests seem suitably comfortable. I could put one more heater down over here. Oh yeah, look at these crowds. I might want to put some more things down. Like, what is this? Is this this is the carotene juice, eh? All right, I gotta make it look prettier for sure. We'll do that later though. Let's go ahead and fix our issue here. What was it? That one, or is it this one? I guess it's this one. Turn you into concrete. That'll do the trick. We'll see. So some people are upset about the views. I'm not surprised. Wish I could have stayed longer. That's not a problem. That means we just need more benches. We do have the benches over here, but maybe we can add a few more here. I wish I could just slightly move off. There we go. Hoping that does the trick over here, and then let's go ahead and on the other side, put maybe a bench down over here. Sure. One down there, and then put one down on the other side as well. I think it looks nice. Same thing over here. Again, if people are complaining about not having enough time to see something, it really means they're just tired and they decided to go home instead. So, you know, they're just being lazy. Always a bad time going to the zoo with people who don't like, who are not willing to put in all the walking time. It's hard. I say walking time, I should say, you know, exploration time, I suppose is what I should say. Wolf Rock hasn't been visited in a while. Alright, let's go ahead and get another keeper in here. I always... Where's the call keeper button? There it is. I don't know how I missed that. Alright, you know what? We seriously need some more keepers. We seriously need some more keepers, and we also need to sort this problem out. What's going on here? Which station are you? Wish I could just... Come on. It's obviously waiting for a full load. Can't even select the train. There we go. Why can't I just see your station number? How do I find which one's which station? Don't want to move exits or anything. Alright, let's go ahead and change this to half load across the board, I guess. Or maybe I'm missing something. It's like where you can see the station name half load for you already. You are a full load. Let's change you to half load as well. That will hopefully do the trick. Hoping that's enough. We also have don't block station, so really the station shouldn't have been blocked, but when did I change this to full load? I legitimately don't remember doing that. There you go, half load. But it's also, yeah, see, like don't block station is being overwritten. I'm making my money, I guess, technically, so. Does it say station name? Do any of you say the station name? No, you just need to say the name of the steam train. Don't think I can see the name of the station. But definitely, it looks like it waited until a full load before it went. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on that and see if the upcoming trains ignore that as an issue. Because that could become a bit of a problem. Could become a bit of a problem. Now, what have we got going on over here? People enjoying the views? Mostly? Ish, sort of, kind of. Do with somewhere to swim. They're able to swim. They have enough room to swim. Take a look over here. Yeah, they're more than happy with the amount of space they have as far as water is concerned. Where's our Rhino over here? There you are. Hiding. Yeah, more than enough water. People just complaining for the sake of complaining. Now, some people have been having good views, evidently. We did receive some donations earlier. And I think once we start having a pair of rhinos in each enclosure, as well as babies, I think we'll be in a much better spot. I should hope. Headed to Crikey Creek from over here. Head to the Ivory Palace, alright. You want to see all these animals? Didn't. You're not even all that tired. Man, sometimes I just don't know. Happy with the view of the Indian elephant. Yes, it fluctuates. I get it. If these were all smaller enclosures, then it wouldn't be a problem ever. That's my mistake. But over here, people seem to be happy. Yeah, getting some donations over here. And over here. Alright, good stuff. Good stuff. We'll iron out the rough edges soon enough. Oh, I thought you were stretching. I feel you, buddy. I feel you. Oh, it's wake up time already? Okay, fair enough. There we go. Nap time. Don't think she's sure what she wants to do. Sure. Let's leave it at that note. It's absolutely adorable the way she's lying down. I'm assuming she, yeah, Shreya. I was like looking at the eyelashes and I was like, you know what? That tells me that looks like a female rhino. I have no reason to be able to tell otherwise. Where's our male rhino? Where are you, buddy? There you are. Beautiful view. Your eyelashes like that? They're not. Hey, oh no, they kind of are. I don't know, man. I just gut feeling. Maybe I'm just getting really familiar with the animals. Nonetheless, folks, as this nap is being had, we're gonna call it a session. This one went on for a little bit longer than I expected. The time lapse took a little bit longer than expected as well, but we have managed to complete Southeast Asia and India. Now, India still needs a little bit of work in the corner over here. Still might need to do another pass with the enclosures. I feel like we could get rid of some of the trees. Maybe they're blocking some views and stuff as well. But yeah, definitely feeling the progress. We've got the world's deadliest boat ride. Still as deadly as ever, from crocs to elephants to rhinos. What'll kill you today? I love it. It's an adventure waiting to happen. That's what the time is like at the zoo. It's an adventure waiting to happen. Next session, I'm hoping to work on the Himalayas, get the Himalayan bear in there. And after that, hopefully we'll finish it in one session. That's my plan. And after that, do we go to China or do we do some more Arctic work? That's the question I'm posing to you. So y'all let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll ask it again next session, of course, after we're done with the Himalayas. But today, folks, got the rhinos done. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. As always, it makes a massive difference in how I approach content on the channel. Lets me know what y'all are interested in. Man, look at this little corner. Look at this corner. That's crazy. Like, oh. Wild. Absolutely wild, folks. As always, a massive thanks goes out to all of my channel members and patrons for supporting the channel on a monthly basis. You keep us alive and running smoothly. And a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time. Cheers.